Welcome back. I'm your boy, Skinny Pete, here with
Pubes Maloney.
Trainee fallopian tubes.
And we have a special guest here. We're gonna call her Sailor Uno. Because, fuck it. And we are going to be talking about the Denver International Airport conspiracy.
Did you say what episode it was?
Oh yeah, episode AUAG.
Ag.
And we're in Mount Vernon. Not to be confused with where Barack Obama liked to go.
So give us a quick overview of what we're going to talk today.
Okay, so as I've already stated, it's going to be the Denver International Airport conspiracy and like just the whole fuckery behind it.
The New World Order, the Illuminati, bro. We're
Fucking
gonna
Freemasons, bro. Like we were gonna dive deep into this pussy.
And then we all die.
Yeah, probably.
No,
Worth it.
I don't know. Who's gonna believe a bunch of stoners anyways? Who's gonna believe a bunch of stoners anyways?
Shit, you right. But anyways, first thing we're gonna talk about is how the airport was built and what it was built on.
Well, okay. So they say that the Denver airport, the new one, was $2 billion over budget. And when you look inside the airport, it doesn't look like it was $2 billion over budget. But they say there is tunnels and buildings that were built underneath it. These tunnels, they say, are used for the new rail system or baggage claim to move around stuff. But what about these buildings?
What
They
about
say-
the buildings?
Well,
yeah.
so the thing is they said that was what it would be used for, but then there was some slip up or some mistake or something, and they were like, oh wait, we can't use it, so we're going to continue to use our normal baggage claim system and just leave the tunnels. Like, they didn't plan on fixing it, they didn't plan on doing anything. There was like nothing spoken about it. They're just like, oh yeah, we have these tunnels now.
And every time someone tries to talk to a guard or someone that works at the airport, some dudes, it could be the janitor, they act like it doesn't exist. Straight up, like, they'll be like, what are you talking about? Be like, we know there's tunnels. And we're like, yeah, are you sure?
Like that's some freaky shit. And you know what else is freaky about that airport? The fucking murals, bro.
Bro, those are unreal how scary those are.
Like,
But
we'll get to the murals later. We'll talk about the stone, the erection stone or whatever the hell they call it.
The memorial stone, pretty much.
Yeah.
They use it, most airports or most buildings use it to commemorate the person who funded making it, but the funder of the Denver airport was anonymous.
But it was the New World Airport Commission.
Well, if you look that up, there's nothing on it.
There's no history, there's no paper trail, there's no money trail either, which is also very
Not
fucking...
even Google can find it. It does not exist.
It is literally just a figment of somebody's imagination that put it on the fucking stone, apparently.
And on the stone, there's logos.
There's the Freemason logo.
Bro, why would a Freemason logo be on something, like, at an airport?
I mean, I don't know, dude. That's freaky shit.
I also did look up more information. They said these buildings, there's like 5 buildings underneath the airport.
There's 5.
And they say they're at least 8 stories each.
Damn.
Completely underground.
Completely underground.
So they hauled in 8 stories of dirt to bury these buildings.
Yes. And when they were built specifically to be underground.
Yes, to be underground like bunkers.
They were not built above ground, they were built bunker style.
Damn. So like that's some fuck shit.
And then there's other theories of saying that it could possibly be a nuclear facility of sorts. Because
bomb shelter.
In 2007, 14 pilots simultaneously called in a broken windshield and because of an electromagnetic pulse. 14 people at the same time around that area. Think about that. And if you look at the runways from above, they look like a swastika.
Yeah, that has something to do with it with the New World Order. Like, do you think Hitler was part of the Illuminati?
Oh, absolutely.
What about you? Do you think he was part of the Illuminati? I mean, that's...
I think that, like, the president and the government, everybody is just puppets. to the real overhead, the people that we don't see, but really what controls the world.
Yeah, who controls beyond our government? Like, there is a higher power than our
There's
government.
got to be somebody that's higher than our government to protect. Because you got like the Peace Corps and all that other crap, the United Nations and all that other crap that protects over there. But what about America? What about like worldwide? So we got the Nation Council crap, and then what about the world?
I mean, it's fucky, dude. Like, the whole thing behind it is just fucky, and like,
Could this be attached to the moon when we sent NASA up there or whatever? They found an Illuminati moon base or some shit.
What?
Think about it. We went up to the moon once, and we never went back.
We've been up there 3 times.
Sure.
Yes, we've been up there 3 times.
Why haven't we gone back?
I have no clue. I heard it's because we were told to not go fucking back by someone up there already on the moon. So it could be the Illuminati already up there on the moon saying, "Hey, fuck out."
We're gonna be nice to you and say, "Get the fuck out of here." Hey James, guess what? Quick sponsor.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by the Shisha Charcoal. It's 100% natural coconut. It's 100% pure coconut shell, easy to light, and it ashes 80% less than normal charcoal briquettes.
I can attest to that one.
So go out to your local smoke shop, get yourself some hookah charcoal.
So we gotta talk about the big blue horse when you land.
Oh my god, that thing is like, was it like a 30-foot tall horse or something?
32-foot tall horse.
32-foot tall horse.
And the head.
It's blue. It's demonic.
It's
got like
red eyes.
And it has
it
red
was built with
fucking
red
eyes.
fucking eyes.
Glowing eyes. Yes, and mind you, the sculptor who made this, before construction, while finishing the head fell on him, killing him. Which Land says that this is why the horse eyes glow and it means a dark power. They say that this horse is one of the 4 horsemen, saying that it's the horseman of death.
I mean, because, yeah, it's a demonic horse. And the only demonic horse depicted in the Bible was...
4 horsemen.
Yeah, was the horseman of death.
So, we gotta talk about these murals.
Oh, dude, these murals.
Let's
Okay, the first one in the sequence is of like a forest burning and like children like crying over like dead animals, putting them in like glass boxes, and it's like a sign of the apocalypse. And same thing with another one. There's like a green army guy wearing a gas mask, holding a sword, and leaving behind like a gray smoke trail behind him. And behind him, inside that gray smoke trail, is like what seems like crying mothers, crying women, and there's dying children, like dying children, like in the middle of the mural.
Let me put this in reference. These murals are not small ones, dude. These are huge fucking murals that were commissioned to be painted.
Yes, like it's insane. Let me see if I can pull up this one here, and he's holding a silver blade, and it's just because it's just weird. It's stabbing like a dove, and it looks like bombed out Europe and whatnot after World War II, which also ties in.
There's a lot of German and war references in these murals. Mind you, there's no conspiracy theory James looked up or read over saying that you got the silver sword and then you got the gold glove he has in his other hand. That's AUAG. And apparently some scientists had created a very potent, very dangerous version of hepatitis that was fast reacting, could wipe out nations real quick because how fast and far it spread. And that might be what the secret meaning could be behind this mural, showing these different murals, showing different like mass chaos, mass apocalypse, just overall just death. And it's not good, and it's just really creepy how.
And the fact that like the smoke in the mural, everyone within it is dying, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like leaving like a wake of like a terrible, just apocalypse of sickness, like a plague, almost sort of like the government's gonna
bioweapons.
Yes, exactly. Like the government's just gonna hit us with this biochemical warfare and fucking
fuck up everything.
Yeah.
Like
Like it's
There's also in the airport. There's gargoyles and suitcases.
Well, one is in a suitcase, and there's several gargoyles. Most people haven't been able to find pictures of them because they're very like sneakishly put in there. But there's ones of them coming out of the wall. There's ones of them hanging on top of each other.
So like demons.
Yeah, and there's like they look like demons just on top of each other.
Okay, let's dig into the Illuminati a little bit more. Okay, let's see. How do you think the Illuminati was formed? Or why was it formed?
I believed is what ran like the civilized world very early on before there was actual government.
So
it's kind of like sort of like a religious thing.
Like, God bless my mother's soul, but I remember being a child and like he's hanging over her shoulder as she watched all these videos on her laptop, and the whole idea behind it, the whole concept of it is pretty much a religious cult that believes they want to bring back Lucifer and put him into the man in charge so that he can take control, and they pretty much worship him. And the whole idea pretty much, and why I think the Illuminati started and how I believe it started, is that these religious cult formed government because that's the way to get people to trust you and to like believe in your idea, is have a face and somebody that's trustworthy and someone who takes care of you. Hence the government providing for the people and creating structure.
Because people without structure is chaos.
Yeah, and what better way to have sheep than to have a herder?
She's got a point, because like Hitler.
Yeah, perfect example.
Perfect example is Hitler.
So it's pretty much like the idea of is like high scale Hitler if the devil like possessed him.
And you were saying that you found there's a verse in the Bible saying that Lucifer would be a well-dressed, really nice looking,
well-respected man. He would be beautiful. He would be
very suave.
Very suave.
Very, very good looking, very like, you could trust this dude. Even if you haven't known him, you just walk him and immediately
that
like...
when he came
it's
to
that
Earth,
manipulation that he has on him.
it was in the verse that when he came to Earth, he would be a very well-respected and trusted man.
And what best way to get to that point than possess someone that's already in that position? Like, think about the Rockefellers, bro.
They had a lot of money.
Yeah. And you
like,
know they fund shit under the table all the fucking time. Ain't no doubt about that.
What was that? There was one Jewish family that is like their wealthiest because they ran the banks. Like, straight up.
Yeah.
I can't remember the names, but they ran the banks. They had money, like money coming out their ears. Like, they didn't have to worry about it. They had like a net worth of almost $600-700 billion or some crap like that. It was outrageous how much money they have. And then J.B. Morgan.
Yeah.
He was like a trillionaire. Fucking nuts.
But yeah, I mean, that's fucking crazy, dude. So, like, what else, like, about this airport is also fucky with you?
Fucky, I would say everybody acts weird. A lot of people that work there, everyone of us act weird, and a lot of people that travel through there it's very strange. It's a very odd aura, very odd atmosphere to be in.
The ambiance of that place is just not right.
It
and like when Elijah Daniel and his friend had gone there and they asked the airport people, they're like, why are there these gargoyles here? She just looks at him and goes, crazy shit happens here. And like, that was it. And he was like, why would you fucking say that? Like, why would you say that to somebody?
that makes it a little weird because you're like, what kind of crazy shit? And now, in this time, that they're doing construction on the airport now, and they have billboards up saying, are we having a gargoyle breeding ground? Is this where we hide aliens and lizards? And they're just blatantly on these billboards with like lizard people and shit. And they're
what?
I think they could be poking fun at people.
They're being self-aware, pretty much.
They're like, we know we're here, but you won't believe us because why? It's so out there and outrageous that if you tried telling somebody about this, be sent to a freaking mental hospital.
Yeah, it's like it's funny that they like taunt you that way. It's like, I know exactly what goes on here and you don't. You just speculate.
Like Sailor Bob over here. was saying that there's you got the high people, and then you got like the president and stuff that use like hand signals or something.
Yeah, like they're okay. This is something completely different than the airport, but it's more like Illuminati based. Is that they have communication with each other through their hand signals and the way that they present themselves, like the president and like even actors and actresses, which are lower on the scale, but still part of the Illuminati Freemason group. They use hand signals such as like, the devil horns, which is like the most commonly known one, or like the OK signal and all that. They do these hand signals to each other to communicate something, and it's more of like they're adapting us to it.
So we're just coming like numb to it.
Yeah, they have this communication between each other, but it's more subliminal, so that we are unaware of the communication.
I also forgot to mention there was a time capsule buried with the airport to be opened in 2094, 100 years after the airport was built. That could be a either good thing or either bad thing, because what could be hiding in that time capsule?
And will they ever release it to the public?
Yeah.
It could be a bioweapon. Who really knows?
No, it also said messages. So like they're
could,
not trying to kill everybody. They want people to read the messages, then trying to kill everybody.
What they're doing, I believe the messages are for the higher up people from back, like just hey, this is what's going on kind of thing. But I don't think that they're trying to kill everybody. Like,
they're just trying to like.
What they're doing, and this all has to do with concentration camps and things like that, is that everybody's going to go through them, but not everyone's going to die. It's more of the more submissive people that are willing to accept their ways, who are willing to worship their God, is going to go through, and they are able to live in the new world.
That was the other thing with the underground buildings being a concentration camp for the New World Order.
Which is genuinely what I believe they are.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. There's some crazy shit that goes on.
Because literally, this is so unrelated, but like it's not unrelated. There's been grounds found by common people. They've stumbled across government ground that has these large coffins. Just like, I remember seeing a picture of it. Somebody had come across a government place and they ended up getting kicked out of there. But before he got kicked out of there, he saw like large stacks of black coffins that could fit about 5 people in them.
Like large, like
black tubs, like coffin-shaped things, all stacked on top of
each
each
coffin
other.
could hold
and they
5.
were empty.
Each hold like 5 people.
They could each hold about 5 people, and they were on government ground in government facilities.
That's weird.
Maybe they're like nuclear blast proof or something like that, and then it's there to protect like the.
Or maybe they're not just for people; they're for something larger. Think about it.
Fucking
Because
lizard people.
for a while, when they first found them, they speculated that they were like alien containers or something for like of that sort. But
Sunglass. But
it's more of the genuine belief that they are coffins for something, because they're completely empty, all of them.
And they're large.
And they're large. They fit about 5 grown men in them.
Well, do you think? Well, there's a lot of people speculating that there could be hiding aliens, lizard people, like a species that the government.
I wonder if Mark Zuckerberg's from Colorado.
It's just weird to think, because why are we the only real species of humanoid in the world? You would think there would be more, because all these sci-fi and stuff like that depicts a different species of people and stuff, and it makes me wonder. Your brain really can't come up with anything. If your brain can't come up with anything, could these specific race be
whether
real?
It's speculated that they're fake or not, but there's been remains of larger people being found, like giants almost. There's been remains of creatures that are humanoid but not like. You get deep down into like the internet, you can find pictures of remains of like almost like mermaid looking people and things like monsters.
I watched a history thing saying the flood that Noah had was to wipe out like the giants, the fairies, all the mystical creatures, and only keep the human, the right race, the perfect race, the whole Aryan bullshit stuff with Hitler. Think about it. It makes sense. If you were trying to wipe out all the other people and just keep the main ones. And they also said that the other thing was they wiped them out because angels were mating with humans, creating these human-angel hybrid things that they didn't, what God itself didn't want to keep.
So, like, demi-angels.
Yeah, weird things like that.
But they weren't coming out normal. They were coming out very mutated.
And that's why the Great Flood happened. That's why we don't find any of these remains, because they're just gone. They disappeared. Just off somewhere.
And any remains that are found very, very deep within.
Into the ground.
Damn.
Like hundreds of feet, thousands of feet sometimes, or even in mountains, like top of mountains. They'll find
So over the time period of like millions of years.
Yes.
Way more than millions of years.
Way more than millions.
Like hundreds of millions of years.
Damn.
Like
that,
even
that's fucking wild,
even
bro.
before dinosaurs they're talking about.
Well, yeah, because the dinosaurs they were just wiped out just 65 million years ago.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. They're talking like billions of years ago this shit happened, and with this like, it makes you think, because if they were trying to make the perfect race, and then Hitler was like 21 minutes. He was trying to lie about the perfect race and have just the ones that they want to keep, and not with mixed breeding or anything. And then you got Hitler coming, and he's like, we want the perfect race. Maybe he tried to do the Illuminati's plan way before they wanted to do it. And then the Illuminati was the one that kind of like ended the whole...
Damn.
Think about it.
That's something to think about. Shit.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's some real shit right there. Because think about it. Because he took a cyanide pill and killed himself. And there was many attempts to kill him, but never really succeeded. And they would have won. To be honest with you, Germany probably would have won if certain things didn't come in, like if certain armies and stuff like that didn't come into play.
Well, yeah, if Japan didn't bomb Pearl Harbor, then America would have never gotten involved with it. Yeah, we would have, been still supplying Britain and stuff for,
shit like that, but like if they would have came over to America, they would have been like horribly defeated.
Oh yeah.
Whole Europe would be taken over.
And you gotta think that, like, Hitler was a really smart dude, but his last stretch there was some of the dumbest shit he's ever done, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, separating his army, going into Russia
in the winter time. Napoleon did that shit and it didn't work.
The only people who've done
Okay,
it
I'm about to start weaving out with this shit, because this is right up my alley.
Bro, we're at 23 minutes so far.
Hitler, like you said, fucked up. In 1942, when he marched into Russia, he was marching well through Russia very, easily, because Russians didn't know how to defend against their blitzkrieg attacks. And so the Russians, they were being pushed back. They got pushed back all the way till Stalingrad, and then winter set in. And then the people of Stalingrad, they are some hardy fucking people. They fought them back using sticks and stones when they ran out of bullets. Like, they threw fucking bricks at them.
They're like,
and the Germans
they're
were
some mean people.
And then during the winter, the Russian army surrounded Stalingrad, and the German army in Stalingrad had no choice but to fucking surrender. And that was, I think, 220,000 troops that
wasn't
Hitler
even the
lost.
entirety of his army, because he had split them up before he had
know.
done that, which was really fucking stupid.
Well, yeah, because the German army was a few million men strong.
It was not like that populated, and he split them up, putting hardly any men into the most dangerous situation possible. And like, history has already shown that doesn't work. So why would he do that?
It makes you think that like Hitler was trying to do the New World Order shit, and they were like, no, what are you talking about? And they tried being nice to him, giving all of them, helping him out and stuff. And then they got to a point and it's like, well, you gotta stop. You're going to this way too far. But he's like, I gotta keep. And the power drove him insane, and he just kind of.
And also, he was wanting to build all these super weapons and advance so much in technology.
They did a lot in the war.
They did so much in the war. They were the first ones to come out with the jet fighter, the first ballistic missile.
People say they're the first people to create time travel.
But he just put way too much into trying to build the biggest, bigger, better thing, and he ran out of resources, and the armies were starting to, not have enough ammo, not have enough food, And then armies started being beat back, especially in 1944 when the Americans invaded Normandy in France and
We
pushed on
fucked
the east
shit up.
and pushed on the Western Front, while the Russians are fucking pushing in from the Eastern Front, pushing them back across Poland. And then finally, it's just
They just gave
crumbling apart around them. They lost the Russian front, so they try and do one last push in freaking the Ardennes forest, and that didn't work out too well in Belgium for them because we killed them in the winter of 44 and 45, and then by the time February and March rolled around, we had them surrounded.
Yeah, it's freaking nuts. But like, you gotta think about all these leaders, and because you could dig even farther back into like fucking, was it the Roman Empire? They controlled the entire fucking
Caesar.
If you think about it too, most of these things have religious backing behind them. Most major
Like the
governments that were
Crusades.
formed had religious backing behind them, which the whole concept of New World Order is that the new world that comes after it will be the one that worships
European Enlightenment.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Crusades? Like, what could be like the real reason? Because they were going after like religious. What was it for? Like
Because the
artifacts.
fucking Roman gods, dude.
They were going after artifacts and shit like that. Religious artifacts. They apparently they had found the Ark of the Covenant, all this like the cross Jesus was on, all this other crazy shit.
Yeah, they found like his wrap and everything.
The Spear of Destiny, which they say if someone holds the Spear of Destiny, you can take down whole nations. How powerful it is, because it was dipped in Jesus' blood.
Damn.
Dude, you can go deep into this shit. This shit goes like way beyond. Like you have to go into the dark web but that shit you stay way far away from. That shit that I won't go.
That's how you sell yourself on the dark eBay.
No, that's how you get yourself killed, because people can read you can find you just by your window size. So you never, when you go into the dark internet, you never do full screen because they can find your ass happily. You never have any webcams, never have microphones, never have anything near you that is
Switch
connected.
your Wi-Fi's.
Like if you're doing this, do it like VPN. You make sure you're in Russian. You bounce around to different countries like every 10 minutes. Like this shit's and they don't do .com. They do .onion for layers. It's
If we're gonna
freaking.
talk about the dark web, man, I can get into this shit.
That'd be another Toke-4-Thought. But anyways, we're at almost 28 minutes.
Yeah, this has been an extended Toke-4-Thought.
And we'll go to the dark web.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun.
that'll be in our next episode here. This will be interesting. Well, I've been the hippie,
I've been Pubes Maloney.
I've been the warden.
and Naz been, as Jimmy calls her, Sailor Bob. And we've had a lot to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you are notified every time that we post something. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/thetokerweights. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at thetokerweights. And that's our shameless plug for tonight. We've had a lot to say. We hope you guys do too. Good night, everybody.
Toke-4-Weights off the air.
Yeah.